And another aspect that kind of follows this is I had a vision in actually December of 2019, just before we went into the new decade. And it was this sword, a powerful, like it was a big sword with a handle that was up in heaven, and it came down and its point went into the earth. But it was a two-edged sword. And the Lord told me, he said, this is my plumb line, and it is my kindness, and it is my severity. It is not one or the other. It is kindness and severity. And he impressed on my heart that we must understand his kindness, but we must also understand his severity. And this decade, we are going to know the tone of God to change into a more sober tone. And in some cases, a severe tone. But I want to highlight, I do not believe the severe tone will not be filled with love. It will be filled with love. And so if we're hearing the severity of the Lord without love coding that, we need to question, because he is love. So what he delivers is going to bring life. But the example that I was thinking of when I had this was when we were raising our sons. We had two boys, and they were rambunctious, and they were, they didn't always obey immediately what you told them to do. And I remember one morning going into their room early, and I said, okay, boys, you need to pick up your stuff there, and you need to make your beds, and, get ready and come on out for breakfast. And then I waited about 15 minutes and they still weren't out for breakfast. So I went back in, and they hadn't done a thing. They were just goofing off, and they hadn't done a thing. And I said, boys, you have to clean your room, put this together, make your beds, and come out for breakfast now. And so I went out and did some more things and got the table ready for breakfast. And I still, 15 minutes later, still no boys. I went back there, and still they had done nothing. Now I'm getting a stronger tone. And I said, right now, while I'm standing here, you will make your bed and you will put everything away now. Now, my tone was firm, it was severe, but it didn't change the fact that I loved them. It didn't mean I didn't love them. I loved them exactly the same, but my tone had changed. And I believe God is going to speak in some ways in a severe tone in some aspects. And we, the church, because we've been so inside of an era of grace and glory, and the unconditional love of God and the mercy of God has been highlighted. And all those things are true about God, but so also is his severity. And so we might not be used to his severity. I remember the first time my own father used a severe tone on me. I was shocked, because he was always so kind, so nice, so amazing that way. But he also had a severe tone. And so I believe God's saying, get ready, because he loves us. He needs us to align. And what a plumb line will do is, like, if we align to the plumb line, everything will be straight. Everything will be able to go forth perfectly. I remember when Ron and I bought our first house, and I wanted to wallpaper. I'd never wallpapered before. I just started in the corner and kept putting the strips up, and I didn't know, and it was striped wallpaper too. And I didn't know that you had to use a plumb line, and the wall was crooked. So it started going like this as I went along. I had and we don't want to tear the whole thing apart. We want to make sure we're in alignment with God. And so he's got a plumb line of his kindness and of his severity, not one or the other, but both, and that we have to embrace in this season, so that we can grow in him and in the kingdom advancement that we're going to see in this era.